In this video, I'm going to correct the exercise 3 from the lab session 2 on the exercise for the library. So the exercise is to draw the class diagram that corresponds to this sequence diagram. So the first thing you need to do is look at all the classes, the objects up here, and look at the classes that are available. So first here you see you have utilisateur. Here it's actually a little stick man, so it means that it's not a class. So you don't need to create this class here. Maybe it does exist, but this is not the information provided by the sequence diagram. Here, however, there is a little icon that represents a class. So this means that bibliothèque view, bibliview, is an object of type bibliothèque view. So somewhere in your class diagram, you need bibliothèque view. Okay, then I have bibliothèque, which will probably be the main class. So I'll put it up here. Then we have livre. Nope, that did not work. And you have author, auteur, and éditeur. And éditeur. Oh, and sorry, we have also livre view. So here you see that we have bibliothèque, bibliothèque view, and livre, livre view. So these will probably, the view classes are there to represent what's in livre. So basically in livre view, you can have buttons and other types of interface objects, whereas in livre, you're going to have all the information that is in a book. Okay, now let's look back at the sequence diagram. For each arrow, you know that it represents a method in the class where it arrives. So this means that this arrow, livre click, represents a method of bibliothèque view. So you know that in bibliothèque view, you have an operation or method. In Modelio, it's called operation. That's called livre click. And you also know that it takes a parameter, an in parameter of type bullet time. Bullet time, if you look up here, bullet time is a livre. So that means that in livre click, in here, let's see, bibliothèque, it's here. I need to do click right, create element, parameter, and this is an in parameter. I have to put livre. And of type livre. Normally it should find it because it's in my diagram already. There we go. Let's check. That looks good. So livre click has an in parameter of type livre. Perfect. Now let's do the same for all of the arrows. Here you have livre sélectionné. It's an arrow that goes into bibliothèque. So you know that in bibliothèque you have the method livre sélectionné. And it also takes bullet time as a parameter. So you know that in bibliothèque, click right, create element, paramètre, just call it L, and it's type livre. Okay, let's just make this a bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Looks good. So I'm going to do the same thing for all of these. This means that display needs to be in livre, get titre needs to be in livre, get nom auteur needs to be in livre, etc., etc. I'm just going to skip this part. Wait, how do I do that? Well, I don't know how to do it. Okay, never mind. Well, you'll skip it if it's too long. So let's see. I need to do display in here. This one doesn't take any parameters. Get titre goes into livre too. You see that get titre is, oops, sorry. Get titre returns, if you look at what's under get titre, it returns bullet time, which is a string. So in get titre, in livre, get titre, you should create an element return type with a return type string. Okay. What else do we have? Get nom auteur. It also returns a string. I'm going to do a copy. Let's see if that works. Control C, Control V. No. Control V. Yeah, that works. Okay. Edit element. I'm going to call this get nom auteur. And same thing for get nom éditeur. Control C, Control V. Get nom éditeur, which also returns a string. Okay, let's continue. There's get nom that goes into author. And get nom returns a string. That didn't work. Okay, and author, return type string. Perfect. And we know that get nom is in éditeur too. So I can just maybe copy this one and stick it in here. Sometimes it doesn't appear here, so you can just put it back here so that it appears. Okay, I think we're all done. Now let's just double check for the return types. You see that on the other ones there's nothing, so this means that it's a void, so I don't need to put it in Modelio. This is a special type of arrow. This is actually a constructor. You can see livre view, so you can put it if you want, but you don't have to. Although you can put it in livre view if you want. That's it. Now, for the links between these classes, let's see how it works. In the sequence diagram, you have the information. You know that, for example, a bibliothèque view, an object of type bibliothèque view, can access an object of type bibliothèque. So this means that there is a link between bibliothèque view and bibliothèque, at least one link. So we can put a composition between bibliothèque view and bibliothèque. For the time being, this is all that we can put. Okay, the same thing here. There is a link between bibliothèque and livre. So let's put a link, and then we'll try to think of what these links are exactly. Then we know that a livre creates a livre view. So there's probably a link between a livre and a livre view. And you see here that the livre view that's just been created asks livre to get his title, get auteur. So there is a link between livre view and livre. Okay. There's also a link between livre and auteur. and the link between livre and éditeur. There. Now, let's look at these links a bit closer and let's decide if we should leave them like this, if we should say that there's several, if we should change the multiplicities, and if we should change maybe the composition, because here they're just aggregations. So let's see, the bibliothèque has how many books? Not just one. So we can put an S on livre and we can say that there's more than one, obviously. There. Then there's a link between livre and livre view. There it's probably true there's just one. There's a link between livre view and livre. Yes, it's probably true there's only just one. A view is only going to represent one book. Then is there a link there's a link between livre and auteur. Now, is there only just one author in a book? No, there can be several. So I would put one too many and I put an S on auteur. Same thing for editor. Well, no, for me there's only one editor, but a student said that there might be several editors, so then in that case you can put a star too. Okay, that's it. Now we have to make sure that the method is complete. That the class diagram is complete and well formed. First of all, you need to check that the main class is in the middle or on top, that you can see it easily. So here it's bibliothèque, it's on the top left, that looks good. Here you see you have bibliothèque, bibliothèque view. It's good to have livre, livre view, because they have the same coherence. So it's good to put them together. And then underneath you have author and éditeur. Okay, that looks good to me. Now you have to make sure that all the classes can be accessed from the main class, which is bibliothèque. Here, for example, we have a problem. Bibliothèque view cannot be accessed from bibliothèque. So I need to put another aggregation. I can go from bibliothèque to livre, I can go from to livre view, and I can go to these two. Okay, now you know that all of the classes need to be carried by another class. The carried is the composition. It means that somewhere you need to stock the objects of that type. Here it makes sense for the bibliothèque to carry the bibliothèque view. So I'm going to transform this into a composition. And the bibliothèque view simply points at the bibliothèque. So it's not a composition here. The bibliothèque can also carry the books. That makes sense. So I'm going to put a composition here. And the livre is going to carry the livre view. Okay, now for the author, for example, should I stock the author in livre? This could be a problem because if an author has written several books, then you will find this information carried in all of the books that he's written. And there can be quite a bit of information, his name, his address, I don't know, maybe his bibliography, a picture, etc. So it might be better to carry a list of authors, to put the list of authors in the bibliothèque and simply point at the right author in the livre. This means that I'm going to create an extra composition that goes from bibliothèque to author. And here I'm going to put an S because obviously there will be many. A composition, that's good. Oh yes, and I need to put a star. Okay. Same thing for editor. There aren't that many editors. There's Larousse, I don't know, Gaillard, etc. So there's not that many. So it's not a good idea. That means that one editor can edit many books. So we're not going to stock this information in each book. It's better to create a composition, to put the lists of all the editors available in the bibliothèque. Now let's see, this is a bit messy. What am I going to do? I think I prefer moving it like this, making this smaller, and putting this the other side. It's the same here. Editors take an S, and it's a composition, and we should have a star. There. So this is the final answer for the question. If some of you have created user, it's not a problem. Here it's not clear if the user is a real person, a physical person, or if it's a class. So it's fine if you also created the class user. Just make sure that it's also related, it's also carried by bibliothèque.